Hello, scrappy friends out there in the YouTube world. It is Imelda here from Three Scrappy Sisters, and I am so excited because I have my very first Felicity Jane layout that I have created with my very first kit. It is the London kit from February 2017. If you go over to my blog, there's a long story about all of the anticipation and all of the waiting that I had to do to get this kit. I thought it was delivered, wasn't delivered. Tracking said it was delivered, so I kind of had a little bit of a panic, but finally it arrived, and I couldn't wait to just get in there and get started. So in the beginning, you just see that I have gone through all the papers and tried to figure out which one I wanted to use. I am really cheap, and I always cut the centers out of any paper that I choose to use as a border. But before I started this layout, I had the plan to not use any of the papers as a border, but rather like a angle piece at the top and an angle piece at the bottom, much like Yana does. I love when she does it, and so I wanted to imitate that a little bit. But then I kind of forgot that that was my plan, so I cut the center out. And there's Isabella, and she's pointing at her silly face in the photo. She used to love making this silly face. Okay, I left this part in here. I'm fussy cutting. This is not obviously part of the kit. This is actually a little birthday cake that Isabella drew, and she is having me fussy cut. And I left it in here because in Emma's last video, she was talking about the way that I fussy cut, so I kind of just left it in so I can show you what she was talking about. What I do is I put the paper right into the opening of my scissors, like right into as far as it can go. And rather than move the scissors around, I move just the paper around, or whatever it is that I'm cutting. I just find you get a little bit more control over that, and I just slowly close the scissors as I'm going. So that's just my little scrappy tip there on fussy cutting. I'm sure a lot of you do that already. So anyways, so I was saying, so she drew a little birthday cake with a crown on it for her birthday invitations. Her birthday is coming up at the end of the month. So we are starting our invitations, and we're crafty people, so we definitely have to DIY those. So I decided that I wanted to use a different photo of Isabella just because the first one was really dark, and I felt these papers were really light, and I didn't like that huge contrast there, so I just switched it out. So right now I'm just going through the cut apart sheet with the Project Life cards, and I cut those for my layering, and I cut my photo down to 4x4. So I am just going to layer a little bit on that. I wanted to bring the blue in a little bit because the shirt she's wearing in the photo is blue. And then I did this wonderful attempt at mixed media. I used some Mr. Huey's that I got in a Studio Calico kit, and I mixed it with gesso, and I tried to do the packaging technique with gesso only because I couldn't find my water, my little water spritzers, so I gave it a go. I didn't like it at all, but I'm gonna try and stick with it for a little while, and I'm hoping at this point that if I add more stuff to it, it won't look so bad. But that was not the case, as you will soon see. So I glued the papers down, I turned it over, and I saw this adorable little black scallop, so I definitely knew I wanted to save that. So I'm just going to trim it off, and you can see that, again, like always, I'm not using white cardstock, I'm just using the back of a not so attractive pattern paper. So here I'm going to bring my photo back, layers back, and I'm going to try and make this blue work. I want to soften it a little bit. I feel like it's too harsh. So I'm going to tap, 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 and then I'm going to decide, hey, what about some vellum? Vellum's always good to soften up a background. So I'm going to grab that. I wanted to point out that Hello Lovely, I think it says Hello Lovely tag. It is from my Felicity Jane kit. I don't think that everyone gets the same tag, but I thought it was just adorable. It's just like a thank you for ordering, so I wanted to definitely include that. As you saw there, I just showed you that I had machine stitched on the top and the bottom. And that is where I decided, nope, don't like that mixed media background, so I picked another paper, another equally unattractive pattern paper. So I'm going to use the back of that, and I'm just going to tape down my stitching so it doesn't unravel and tangle everywhere. That washi tape, I really do like the pattern of it, but it's not really washi tape, it's like plastic tape, and it's very glossy, so I find it doesn't adhere very well, and I don't like the quality of it, so I just use it to stick things down. So I am just going to glue down my photo and my layers. I was going to use my ATG, and then I realized I don't remember how to change it, so I didn't want to pause and figure out how to do it, so I'm just going to use my my tape runner there. And I find that I don't change it a lot, I do use it a lot, but I think it's just got so much of it in there that I don't have to change it a lot. So then when I do have to change out the roll, I've kind of forgotten how to do it. So I've probably had to change it twice, and each time I've had to YouTube how to do it. And I know it's not very difficult to do either, but I just forget. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the chipboard pack and the ephemera pack, the cut apart sheets, and try to embellish now. I really like that white and black scallop that I placed under the photo. This isn't from the pattern paper that I cut. This is actually from the packaging that came with the chipboard pieces, and I really love it. I think it's just so cute. But unfortunately it says, I think it says made in America, something like that. So I knew I wanted to cover it up. I tried to cover it up with that black bow, but I didn't like the way it sat directly under the center of the photo. So I do end up using the floral that came in the cut apart sheet, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. And it fit just perfectly. The way that it was kind of angled in a way that you can put it in a corner was just perfect. So I did end up using that. The title that I'm going with is Pretty Smile, because she just has the cutest little smile. And you can see that I've figured out how I'm going to place the scallop and the floral. And I'm just going to adhere everything. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have trouble cutting apart embellishments? I found with this frame, that black and white striped frame, the chipboard one, I didn't want to hide it, but I almost felt guilty cutting into it so that I can use it on both sides. I don't know if that's probably just me. I feel guilty and like I'm hurting the paper, hurting the embellishments or something, but let me know if you feel the same way. Do you have trouble cutting into stuff? Or I guess that's why we hoard a lot of things, because we feel bad using it, but then we feel bad not using it, so it's a catch-22. Okay, so there, I cut it, I did it, I bit the bullet, and I actually really like the way it turned out. A little peak at the top and a little peak at the bottom, and it's perfect. So I am going to just adhere, and then I used the little triangles to embellish. Oh, and I'm popping up some of these places, with some foam dots, just because I did pop up my photo and my layers on some fun foam. So I'm going to use that. I really love this bow. It's so cute. I wanted to put it on the photo, but because the background of the photo is so dark, I feel like it was getting a little lost, so I ended up just putting it on my layers, which I like the way it ended up. Because the word pretty is in a teal, I wanted to bring that into a different part of the layout, which is why I tried really hard to use that tag, but in the end I didn't like the way it looked, so I felt like the little teal triangle at the top is just enough. And I found a place for this tag, which is awesome. I love it. It says hello lovely, and she's lovely and she's adorable. I think she must have been, I want to say like 4 years old in this photo, which is so long ago. She's going to be 9 this year, and time flies by. So everything that I've used is from the kit so far, except I'm going to bring in my Heidi Swap Color Shine in black and gold. So I'm just going to do some splatters here and there. I knew I wanted a big splatter, so I loaded up with black and I held it up real high. And I had to wait and wait and wait until it dripped down. So I've done the gold and now I'm adding some enamel dots. I ended up doing a really big spot on that lovely tag and I tried to wipe it away. You can't really see it from this angle, but it kind of smudged everywhere and I didn't really like the way that looked. So I'm going to cover it up. I tried that tag again, didn't work. I'm so stubborn, didn't work. But I found this little chipboard piece and I'm gonna glue that down. And that is basically the entire layout. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and here are some stills. Please give a thumbs up if you like this video, if you'd like to see more, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye!